My child, I know your heart felt a quiet ache when you heard the words that changed your plans. I know how your hands paused, how your breath slowed, how your mind began asking questions you were afraid to say out loud. Christmas is meant to feel warm, shared, full of closeness. And when your soulmate canceled their plans, it felt like a door softly closing without explanation. But listen to me now, gently, without fear. This moment is not what it looks like on the surface. I saw the way you tried to be strong. I saw you tell yourself not to overthink, not to assume the worst, not to let your heart wander into dark corners. Yet late at night, when the world grew quiet, your thoughts returned to that single question. Why? Why now? Why during a time meant for togetherness? Why does love sometimes feel so uncertain just when you want it to feel safe? My child, you're not wrong for feeling this way. Your emotions are not weakness. They are proof of how deeply you love, how sincerely you care, how open your heart still is despite everything you have endured. And I want you to know something clearly before your mind writes stories that will only bring pain. Your soulmate did not cancel Christmas because they no longer care. They canceled because something inside them became too loud to ignore. There are moments when the soul reaches a place it cannot bypass anymore. Moments when pretending becomes heavier than truth. For your soulmate, this season awakened feelings they had been pushing down for a long time. Christmas has a way of doing that. It shines light into places people have kept hidden, even from themselves. Old wounds resurface, fears rise, questions about the future knock on the heart more insistently than before. And instead of bringing all of this to you imperfectly, uncertainly, they chose distance. Not because you are unsafe, but because they are. I know that hurts to hear. I know it makes you wonder if you did something wrong, if you asked for too much, if loving openly was a mistake. But hear me carefully. This separation was not created by your flaws. It was created by their fear of facing how real this connection has become. Your soulmate feels the depth of what exists between you. They feel it when they wake up. They feel it when they try to distract themselves. They feel it in moments when they almost reach out and then stop. Love has grown heavier for them, not in a burdensome way, but in a way that demands courage. And right now they are still learning how to hold it. That is why the plans were canceled quietly. That is why there were no long explanations, no emotional conversations, no dramatic goodbyes. Silence was easier than honesty. Distance felt safer than vulnerability. And in that choice, they were trying to protect themselves from emotions they do not yet know how to manage. But my child, silence does not mean absence of love. Often it means love has become too intense to navigate without fear. I know you may feel left out, confused, standing alone while others celebrate. You may feel as though something was taken from you without warning, but I want you to lift your eyes beyond this moment. What looks like loss is actually a pause. What feels like rejection is actually restraint. And what seems like an ending is the beginning of something more truthful. There are things I am rearranging quietly behind the scenes that you cannot yet see. Your soulmate is not celebrating elsewhere without you. They are sitting with their thoughts. They are reflecting. They are confronting questions they have avoided for far too long. Questions about commitment, about worthiness, about whether they are ready to love without running. And these questions, though painful, are necessary. If they had come to you carrying confusion, fear, and unresolved emotions, it would have spilled into moments meant for joy. It would have created misunderstandings, tension, words spoken without clarity. So I allowed distance not as punishment but as protection for both of you. I am protecting your heart from half-truths. I am protecting your bond from premature conversations. I am protecting the future I am shaping for you from being damaged by fear-driven choices. And even though it feels lonely right now, you are not being abandoned. You are being held. My child, do not let this moment convince you that you are unchosen. You are deeply chosen. Do not let silence convince you that you are forgotten. You are remembered constantly in my heart and in theirs. And do not let a canceled plan convince you that love is slipping away. Love does not disappear so easily. True love transforms before it settles. This Christmas will look different than you expected. But different does not mean empty. Use this time to rest your heart in me. To breathe without anticipation, to love yourself without questioning your worth. Let me fill the spaces where expectation once lived. Because the truth is this: something honest is forming beneath the quiet. Your soulmate is not moving away from you. They are being drawn inward to a place where truth can no longer be ignored. And when they return, it will not be with excuses or confusion, but with clarity born from reflection. Be still. Be gentle with yourself. Trust that I am working even when you cannot see movement. This silence is not meant to break you. It is meant to prepare both of you for what comes next. I see you still thinking about it. My beloved child, I feel the way your heart keeps replaying every small detail, every word that was said, every pause that felt heavier than it should have. Even when you try to distract yourself, your soul keeps returning to the same place, asking the same quiet question. What are they really running from? And I want you to know, you are not wrong to sense that something deeper is happening. Your spirit feels it because it is true. Your soulmate is not running from you. They are running from a part of themselves they have not yet healed. There are battles people fight that never show on their faces. Smiles hide them. Laughter covers them. Even closeness can mask them for a while. But when love becomes real, when it stops being an idea and starts becoming a future, those hidden battles rise to the surface. Your soulmate has reached that place. The place where feelings can no longer be kept casual, where pretending becomes exhausting, where the heart demands honesty. They are afraid, my child, afraid not because love is weak, but because it is strong. Love has a way of asking questions people are not prepared to answer. Am I enough? Can I protect this connection? What if I fail? What if I lose them the same way I lost before? These thoughts have been echoing inside your soulmate's mind, growing louder as Christmas approached. Holidays magnify everything. Joy, but also regret, hope, but also fear. And instead of opening their heart fully, they chose the only thing they knew how to do in that moment: step back. This stepping back was not meant to hurt you. It was meant to give them space to breathe, to understand themselves, to face the truth without the pressure of expectations. But I know how it feels from your side. It feels like distance, like uncertainty, like being left behind while you were ready to move forward. I want you to hear me clearly now. Their fear is not a reflection of your worth. Your love did not overwhelm them because it was too much. It overwhelmed them because it was real, because it touched places in their heart they thought were long closed, because it awakened dreams they were afraid to admit they still had. And when something precious appears unexpectedly, some people instinctively try to protect themselves by pulling away. Your soulmate has been listening to outside voices too. Opinions, expectations, old lessons learned through pain. Voices that told them love always comes with loss, that closeness leads to disappointment, that happiness is temporary. These voices grew louder as the holidays came closer, reminding them of past failures, past goodbyes, past moments when they hoped and were hurt. So they paused, they canceled, they chose silence over vulnerability. But even in this silence, their heart has not disconnected from yours. There are signs, my child, quiet ones. The way they still check their phone more often than they admit. The way your name crosses their mind when something reminds them of you. The way their chest tightens when they imagine a future where you are not present. These are not the actions of someone who has let go. These are the struggles of someone who is fighting themselves. And while you wait, I ask you not to turn this moment into a verdict on your future. Waiting is not wasted time when it is guided by faith. Silence is not absence when love still lives underneath it. This is a season of inner work for them and for you. Release the need to control what happens next. Release the urge to chase answers before they are ready to be spoken. Trust that I am softening their heart even now, teaching them courage in the quiet, helping them see that love does not have to be perfect to be safe. Your role right now is not to prove your worth, to fix their fear, or to fill the silence with worry. Your role is to stay rooted, to remain open without being anxious, to choose peace over assumptions, because what is being pulled apart right now is not your connection. It is the illusion that love can survive without honesty. Be patient, my beloved child. What is meant for you is not slipping away. It is being refined. And when the time is right, the truth will rise gently, without force, without fear, and without confusion. I am with you in this waiting. I am guiding every step, even the ones that feel like stillness. There is a moment approaching, my beloved child, when you cannot yet see clearly, but your soul has already begun to sense it. It is the moment when quiet becomes too heavy to carry, when the heart can no longer hide behind distraction, when truth gently but firmly asks to be acknowledged. This is the moment your soulmate is slowly moving toward, even if they do not yet realize it fully. I want you to understand something important. Nothing has stalled. Nothing has gone wrong. What feels like waiting is actually movement happening beneath the surface. Your soulmate has entered a season of reflection that cannot be rushed. In this space, they are beginning to see themselves honestly, not through fear, not through old wounds, but through clarity that only comes when noise fades. They are remembering conversations with you. They are replaying moments they once took lightly and now understand differently. They are realizing how safe they felt in your presence, how seen they were, how real the connection truly was. And with this realization comes discomfort. Truth often arrives quietly, but it shakes the foundations of everything built on avoidance. Your soulmate is beginning to feel the weight of what they almost walked away from. They are beginning to sense the emptiness of pretending everything is fine when it is not. And most of all, they are beginning to feel the pull of your connection in a way that cannot be ignored. This is not the kind of pull that creates panic. It is the kind that creates surrender. They are starting to understand that canceling plans did not cancel what exists between you. That distance did not erase the bond. That silence did not diminish the love. Instead, all of it revealed what truly matters. And as this understanding grows, something within them is softening. My child, love does not always return with noise. Sometimes it returns as courage. There will be a moment unexpected, gentle, unforced, when your soulmate feels ready to speak honestly, not perfectly, not without emotion, but truthfully. And when that moment arrives, it will not come from pressure or guilt. It will come from clarity, from the realization that running no longer protects them, and that facing love is less frightening than losing it. I know you may be wondering what you should do now, how you should act, whether you should prepare your heart for disappointment or hope. I tell you this, remain open but not anxious. Stay loving but not afraid. Let your peace be your strength. You are not being tested to see how long you can wait. You are being prepared to receive honesty without fear, to hear truth without defensiveness, to respond with understanding instead of hurt. Because when truth rises, it needs a safe place to land. This is why I have been calming your spirit, slowing your thoughts, reminding you to breathe. I'm helping you grow steadier so that when the moment comes, you can meet it with grace. Your soulmate is not returning to the past version of this connection. They are stepping towards something deeper, something clearer, something more intentional. And that requires them to release old patterns, old fears, old excuses. This transformation takes time, but it is real. Do not mistake quiet for distance. Do not mistake reflection for rejection. What is happening now is alignment. I am aligning their heart with truth. I am aligning your heart with peace. And I am aligning both of you with a future built on honesty, not fear. Trust this process, my beloved child. What is unfolding now will make sense soon. And when it does, you will see that this pause was not a loss. It was the moment everything began to change. Come closer to me now, my beloved child, and rest your heart for a moment. This part of the journey is quieter, deeper, and more sacred than you realize. It is the space where healing begins, where faith is gently tested, and where love learns to breathe without fear. What you are experiencing right now is not meant to exhaust you, but to strengthen you in ways you did not know you needed. There are wounds that silence reveals. When words stop, old memories rise. You may find yourself remembering past disappointments, broken promises, moments when you hoped and were let down. The mind tries to protect itself by preparing for pain before it arrives. But I want you to release that habit gently. This moment is not asking you to relive the past. It is asking you to heal from it. Your soulmate, too, is standing at the edge of their own healing. They are confronting fears they once buried under busyness and distraction. They are seeing how their instinct to pull away has shaped their relationships, how avoidance felt safe but always left them empty. This realization is uncomfortable, but it is necessary. Healing often begins with discomfort. My child, forgiveness is moving quietly between you right now, even if it has not yet been spoken aloud. Forgiveness does not always come as words exchanged. Sometimes it comes as understanding growing in the heart. Sometimes it comes as the choice not to assume the worst. Sometimes it comes as the courage to stay soft in a season that tempts you to harden. I ask you not to build walls during this pause. Walls may feel protective, but they also block the very thing you desire. Instead, build roots, roots of faith, roots of patience, roots of self-respect and self-love. Let your worth be steady, not shaken by another's uncertainty. This is the test of faith, not whether you can endure silence, but whether you can remain loving without reassurance, whether you can trust me without visible proof, whether you can believe that what is meant for you will not miss you even when the path feels unclear. Your peace right now is powerful. It is teaching your soulmate something they need to learn, that love does not chase, threaten, or demand. Love waits with grace. Love holds space. Love allows truth to rise in its own time. And as you remain calm, as you choose faith over fear, you are creating safety without even trying. Know this: pressure would push them further away. Expectations spoken too soon would overwhelm them. But your quiet strength is drawing them closer than you realize. They feel it. They sense that something has changed. Not in you becoming distant, but in you becoming grounded. I am guiding you to surrender control, not because you are powerless, but because trust opens doors that force never can. Surrender is not giving up. It is placing what you love in my hands and allowing me to shape it wisely. This pause is protecting both of you from words spoken too early, from promises made without clarity, from decisions driven by fear rather than truth. When the time is right, conversation will come naturally. Healing will meet honesty, and understanding will replace confusion. Stay here with me. Let your heart soften instead of closing. Let faith steady you. What is being built now will last longer than anything formed in haste. You are not being asked to wait in pain. You are being invited to grow in peace. And that peace will soon make room for the truth you have been longing to hear. Come into my presence now, my beloved child, and let your heart rest fully. This is the moment where everything you have endured begins to make sense. Not all at once, not loudly, but gently, like dawn after a long night. What you thought was taken from you was never removed. It was being prepared, purified, and returned in a truer form. This Christmas was never meant to look the way you imagined, because it was meant to change you. It was meant to strip away expectations and replace them with understanding. It was meant to teach you that love is not proven by perfect moments, but by honest ones. And you have learned more in this quiet season than you realize. Your soulmate is not the same person who canceled those plans. Something inside them has shifted. The space they stepped into forced them to face their own patterns, their fears, their hesitation. They have seen what absence feels like. They have felt the emptiness of distance. And in that stillness, they have understood what your presence truly means to them. This clarity did not come easily. It came with tears they did not show, with long nights of thinking, with moments of regret and moments of courage slowly forming. But clarity has come, my child, and when it arrives, it does not rush. It chooses wisely. What returns to you now is not confusion, but intention. You may soon notice a change in the way they speak, the way they listen, the way they approach you. It will not be dramatic. It will be sincere. It will carry a depth that was not there before. Because absence has a way of teaching the heart what truly matters, and I want you to know this. Nothing about this season was wasted. Not your tears, not your waiting, not your faith. Every quiet prayer you whispered was heard. Every moment you chose peace over panic mattered. You were being prepared too, not to settle, not to chase, but to receive love that is more grounded, more honest, more mature. You are no longer asking love to choose you. Love is learning how to meet you. This Christmas did not break your story. It realigned it. It cleared away illusions. It softened hearts. It made room for truth. And the love that emerges from this season will be stronger because it passed through stillness instead of chaos. Now I bless you, my beloved child. I bless your heart with peace that does not depend on another's actions. I bless your mind with clarity that silences fear. I bless your soul with patience that attracts what is meant for you. May love approach you gently, honestly, and without confusion. May conversations come with openness instead of hesitation. May what returns to you come ready, not afraid. Let this be the end of uncertainty and the beginning of emotional safety. Let this be the closing of old wounds and the opening of a new chapter. Let this be the season where your heart rests instead of worries. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are exactly where I need you to be. Go forward now in peace. What is meant for you is already finding its way home. Come even closer, my beloved child, because what I am about to speak now is not short and it is not light. It is meant to sit with you, to walk with you, to hold you through the hours when your thoughts return again and again to the same place. This is not just another message. This is a deep unfolding, a longer breath, a wider understanding of what your soul has been walking through. I know that even after peace touched your heart, questions still remained. Peace does not erase curiosity. Faith does not silence longing. You still wonder what all of this truly meant, why it had to happen this way, and why love sometimes arrives wrapped in confusion before it settles into certainty. I have not ignored those questions. I have been waiting for the right moment to answer them fully. My child, there are seasons when I do not remove situations quickly because I am reshaping the people inside them. If I had forced clarity too early, it would have only been temporary. If I had pushed your soulmate toward you before they were ready, the same fears would have resurfaced again. What I have done instead is deeper work, quiet work, lasting work. You must understand this. Your connection was never fragile. What was fragile were the beliefs surrounding it. Your soulmate carried beliefs formed long before they met you. Beliefs shaped by disappointment, by watching love fail around them, by moments when trusting cost them deeply. When they felt love growing with you, it awakened joy, yes. But it also awakened every unresolved fear tied to loss. And instead of recognizing those fears for what they were, they mistook them as warning signs. So they paused. They stepped back. They canceled plans not because they wanted distance from you, but because they wanted distance from the fear they did not yet know how to name. During this extended quiet, something profound has been happening inside them. They have been seeing themselves without distraction. They have been noticing how often they withdraw when things become meaningful, how often they confuse safety with distance, how often they wait until love is at risk before realizing its value. These realizations are humbling. They strip pride. They soften defenses. They open doors that have been locked for years. And while this was happening within them, something equally important was happening within you. I have been teaching you how to remain whole without constant reassurance, how to feel love without clinging, how to trust without demanding proof at every step. These lessons are not punishment. They are preparation. Love that lasts requires two whole hearts, not two anxious ones holding each other up. You are learning how to rest in your worth, how to let love approach you instead of chasing it, how to choose calm even when answers were delayed. This growth will protect you in ways you cannot yet fully see. My child, do not underestimate what you have become in this waiting. There were moments when you could have hardened, but you chose softness. Moments when you could have assumed the worst, but you chose understanding. Moments when you could have lost faith, but you chose to stay open. These choices have shifted the energy of your future. They have changed the way love will meet you from this point forward. Now let me speak clearly about what comes next, not as a fixed script, but as a direction shaped by truth. Your soulmate will not return to you confused. They will not return unsure of what they feel. They will not return needing you to convince them of your value. What returns is awareness, responsibility, a quieter but stronger commitment to honesty. You may notice that they speak less dramatically but more sincerely, that they listen more than they defend, that they show care through consistency instead of promises. This is the fruit of reflection. This is what grows when fear is faced instead of avoided. And I ask you, when this happens, do not punish them for the season they needed to grow. Do not reopen wounds that have already begun to heal. Meet honesty with honesty. Meet effort with openness. Meet sincerity with grace. That does not mean forgetting what hurt you. It means choosing not to weaponize it. Love matures when both hearts choose understanding over victory. I also want you to know this. Even if the timing does not unfold exactly as you imagine, nothing about this journey has been wasted. Sometimes the greatest gift is not the outcome itself, but who you become while waiting for it. You are stronger now, calmer, more self-aware, more grounded in who you are without needing validation. This growth ensures that whether love comes quietly back into your life or arrives transformed, you will receive it from a place of stability, not fear. My child, I am not leading you toward uncertainty. I am leading you away from illusion. Illusions say love must be constant excitement to be real. Truth says love can be quiet and still be deep. Illusions say distance always means loss. Truth says distance can sometimes reveal value. Illusions say waiting is weakness. Truth says waiting with faith is strength refined. You are stepping into a new way of loving, one that does not abandon itself to keep another close, one that does not fear silence, one that trusts alignment over urgency. And now I speak blessing over this extended chapter of your life. May your heart never again mistake anxiety for love. May your peace remain even when answers arrive slowly. May you recognize effort without forcing it. May you accept love that meets you where you are, not where fear tries to pull you back. May conversations ahead be honest, not defensive. May reconnection, when it comes, feel natural, not forced. May your future relationships, whether with this soulmate or beyond, be built on clarity, not confusion. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not waiting in vain. You are being aligned with love that knows how to stay. Remain gentle. Remain grounded. Remain open. I am with you in every step forward, and nothing meant for you will ever pass you by. Come now, my beloved child, and rest your heart completely. This is the closing of this chapter, not with noise or urgency, but with calm understanding and deep peace. What you have walked through was not easy, but it was sacred. And now I want to gently gather every loose thread and place it back into your hands with clarity. There are moments in life that feel unfinished because they did not end the way we expected. But unfinished does not mean broken. Sometimes it means something was protected until it could return in a healthier form. This journey with your soulmate was never meant to leave you confused forever. It was meant to lead you here, into a place where fear no longer controls your heart. Look at how far you have come. You began this path feeling uncertain, questioning yourself, wondering if love was slipping away. You felt the sting of silence, the ache of canceled plans, the loneliness of waiting during a season meant for warmth. But instead of collapsing inward, you stayed present. You stayed soft. You stayed faithful. And in doing so, you allowed me to reshape you gently. You are not the same person you were at the beginning of this story. You are calmer now. You are steadier now. You trust yourself more deeply now. This is not accidental. This is preparation. My child, love was never taken from you. It was paused so it could return without fear attached to it. Whether your soulmate steps forward immediately or the path unfolds slowly, know this truth. What comes next will not feel confusing. It will not feel uncertain. It will not feel like you are guessing where you stand. What is meant for you brings peace with it. I want you to release any remaining heaviness. Release the need to replay the past. Release the urge to analyze every silence. Release the belief that love must hurt to be real. Those lessons are complete. You do not need to carry them forward. Your heart has learned enough. If your soulmate returns, they will return differently, with awareness, with intention, with humility. And if the future opens another door, it will be one that recognizes your worth without hesitation. Either way, you are not losing. You are aligning. Trust this alignment. You are stepping into a season where love does not make you anxious, where connection does not make you doubt yourself, where presence feels safe, not fragile. This is the kind of love you deserve, and this is the kind of love I am guiding you toward. Now receive my blessing slowly and deeply. May your heart remain peaceful even when life is uncertain. May your mind stay clear when emotions try to pull you backward. May your soul recognize love that comes with honesty and consistency. May you never again chase what is meant to meet you halfway. May you never again shrink yourself to keep someone close. May you always remember that your worth is not measured by another's readiness. Let this be the end of waiting in confusion. Let this be the beginning of loving without fear. Let this be the moment you step forward lighter than before. I'm proud of the way you trusted me through the silence. I'm proud of the way you stayed gentle when you could have hardened. I'm proud of the way you chose faith over fear again and again. Carry this peace with you now. Walk forward without looking back in doubt. What belongs to you will recognize you when the time is right, and it will stay. Go in calm. Go in confidence. Go knowing that you are deeply loved, always guided, and never alone. And now, as we come to the very end of this sacred message, I want you to sit quietly with yourself for just one final moment. Not to analyze, not to overthink, but simply to breathe and let everything you have heard settle deep into your heart. You have learned that the canceled plans were not rejection, but reflection. You have learned that the silence was not abandonment, but protection. You have learned that the waiting was not punishment, but preparation. And now, standing on the other side of this revelation, you are not meant to be afraid. You are meant to be at peace. What is meant for you will not be lost. What is true will not fade. Rest in that truth. Go forward, my child, not in fear but in faith, not in doubt but in certainty, not in hiding but in full, radiant confidence. You are protected, you are favored, you are chosen, and I am with you always. The waiting is not empty, the love is not fading, and the best part of your story is still ahead. Go in peace. You are never alone. And now, my child, as we come to the very end of this sacred message, I want you to sit quietly with yourself for just one final moment. Not to analyze, not to overthink, but simply to breathe and let everything you have heard settle deep into your heart. You have learned that the canceled plans were not rejection, but reflection. You have learned that the silence was not abandonment, but protection. You have learned that the waiting was not punishment, but preparation. And now, standing on the other side of this revelation, you are not meant to be afraid. You are meant to be at peace. What is meant for you will not be lost. What is true will not fade. Rest in that truth. Go forward, my child, not in fear but in faith, not in doubt but in certainty, not in hiding but in full, radiant confidence. You are protected, you are favored, you are chosen, and I am with you always. The waiting is not empty, the love is not fading, and the best part of your story is still ahead. Go in peace. You are never alone.